Good evening, everybody. Thanks for logging in tonight. Got a very special conversation that we're going to dig into. We want you to go ahead and as you view this, as you see this come up, we want you to share it. Want you to share it with your family, with your friends, with your business partners, with your cousins. Let them know we are live tonight. Got some very special brothers here that's going to share in this conversation. Gonna make this public so that everybody get an opportunity to see and hear what's going on. All right. We're public. Guys, I want you to share it on your pages if you see it pop up. Let me see something. See if I can tag you here. Okay, thanks.
I see it live on your page.
Okay, can you just share it? As you see it, just hit the share button. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I see you. I see you logging in. If you can just do me a favor for those that are here that are watching this, if you can just type in the comments your name and where you're from. Go ahead and represent where you're from. Represent your hood, represent your neighborhood, your community. Got a very, very good conversation, man. I have some awesome brothers that's on tonight with me, and I'm looking forward to the knowledge and wisdom that they're going to share with us. Very good conversation.
Sorry about that.
Terry, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining in. So, guys, tonight, man, especially over the last probably since the pandemic. Hey, Poops, thanks for joining in. Especially since the pandemic, my timeline has been very interesting with information that has been posted. You would see different messages about what was happening with the pandemic. You would see messages about what was happening in their local community, and different things of that nature. And you will see different things happening in the community, different things that's happening in the pandemic. And when different things was happening in the news, we saw a lot of questions and a lot of comments about stock, about what people are doing, about when to get in, how to get in. And some said they want to know, and some followed up, some didn't follow up. And over the last, this last 11 months, these are some brothers who I've consistently seen share some wisdom, personal experience. We're putting this disclaimer out tonight. These are personal experiences. If you choose to know more, you should contact these individuals. But the discussion tonight is for educational purposes only. All right. We are not licensed brokers. All right. We are not, all right. We're here to share information to add to your life and opportunity to have other sources of income coming in. We're here to dispel some myths about how to get started. And we're also here to share some tips of what to look out for so that you can have a good experience. All right. And so tonight I have my good brother, Bryant. BB, aka B Sharp, and I have Veray Freeman on tonight, and I have Darius Bowe. They all have their own companies. They all have different level of experiences in the stock market. A couple of them even run their own financial group where they show strategies and educate on how to read the market. And so we're just here to have this discussion tonight. Um, we're gonna go down south a little bit. Shout out to VA's in the building. Shout out to South Carolina's in the building. We're gonna go down to Georgia, and we want my good brother Veray, man, to introduce himself and share about him a little bit and about his company.
All right, awesome. Yeah, Ray Freeman, welcome team, and I'm glad everybody who's on is joined. This is going to be a very, very interesting conversation, and thank you, Jason, for extending the invitation to myself. I truly believe that we're all learning and continue to learn, and sometimes we find ourselves in different rooms, and if you're the smartest person in that room, you're in the wrong room. So I'm looking forward to learning myself tonight. But Veray Freeman, that's who I am. I'm a managing member of the Freeman Legacy Group. Down here in Georgia, I live in Snellville, Georgia, down south, originally from Patterson. Been down here since '95. And, Atlanta, that transition was huge. It was an opportunity to see growth at the forefront. We moved down the year before the Olympics came, so trying to understand business, and that wasn't the purpose we moved, but to see it happening at light speed when the 1996 Olympics was here in Atlanta, and you've seen so many people make so many changes. Opportunities was in the front of so many different communities, and believe it or not, our community was left out in so many areas. That wasn't my primary focus at the time, but I saw it, and it was amazing. It got that flame burning in me. So, um, been in the stock market since probably about '97. Worked for a company, Comcast, years and years prior to Comcast becoming purchasing the company in Atlanta. I was with AT&T, and AT&T gave us 300 shares as employees back in 1997, 98, just out of the blue. And obviously, 90% of the employees had absolutely no idea what we had. And that started my interest. That started me trying to understand stocks, believe it or not. And it was an interesting endeavor because the company, for whatever reason, did not share a lot of information. But that's what started me trying to understand what I had and the value behind it, and eventually get in 401k, and then obviously learning a little more about trading and investing on my own. So a lot more to that, but that's when I got started.
Yo, good stuff, man. Yo, we're gonna go up to Jersey, come back up to Jersey, and yo, CEO, CEO Darius Bowe, man, introduce yourself to everybody, man, and let them know who you are and how long you've been trading, and let them know a little bit, bro.
Trading's been a long journey. I started back in early 2000s, around '99, right after my mom's passed, and it's been a journey, ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. You gotta take your
Yeah,
lickings and keep on ticking, and yeah, and a lot of these new people. It's a lot of new people I see that's getting into it, and we're gonna have a good conversation. But other than that, I run a logistics company. I distribute for Amazon, Walmart, Chewy, most of the major chains. Um, in New York, Manhattan area, Harlem, Upper West Side, East Side. Um, Besides that, I'm a broker. We also operate as a brokerage, so forth. Broker truckloads and just trying to get to this bag, man, or whatever. But besides that, I'm also a school teacher. Yeah, I've been teaching 18 years now.
wow.
Special ed behavior disorder, Patterson, New Jersey, man. Yeah, school 28. I spent about 11, 12 years. Great Falls Academy, up there with them knuckleheads, about 5 or 6. Down there east side with science and information and technology. So I do a lot in a day, in one day.
Yeah, yo, good stuff, man. Yo, yo, B, Come on, man. Come off of mute and let the people know what's up.
All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? My name is Bryant. I'm self-employed. I decided in 2018 that I did not want to work for anybody anymore because I didn't like to ask for time to go to lunch or even the bathroom, take vacation or break. So I got fired. And after that, I was really pushing to comprehend how to use the stock market. And I said I never want to go back to work for anybody again. I've been trading since 2016. During the pandemic, I actually started sharing my strategy online, and the group has grown tremendously with people who are in there learning how to read charts and learning how to invest. The reason I do this is, again, because I did not want to go back to work. I am a full-time voice actor doing commercials and animation. And so in between gigs, I trade. And I have been doing very well in just trading and acting. I'm also a vocalist. I sing. And
yeah. He's legit, guys. He's legit, bona fide.
So that's some of who I am, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
Excellent. You know what? Let's get right into it. Let's tackle some myths, guys. Let's tackle some myths. What have you heard? What myth have you heard throughout the years of your trading that you found out was not true? It was not true, and let's dispel a couple of myths. Let's start with Varay. Let's start with Varay. Varay, what is a myth you've heard over the years that you've been able to dispel? Is he there? Varay?
Looks like he's frozen.
Yeah, B, let's start with you.
Okay.
B, let's start with you. What's a myth?
So one myth that I've heard is that you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to get into the market. You need big buckets of money. That is definitely not the case, and I can attest to that. Even this week, I was speaking to someone who started out with $421 in November, and in a matter of weeks, he is now up over 1,000%. He's got $11,000 in his account, starting with less than $5. So yeah, you don't need millions of dollars. You don't need thousands. You just need the desire to start.
Yeah. Varay,
once you see that first green day, you get that desire.
Facts.
Yeah,
Varay, what's a myth, man? What's a myth you've heard over the years that that you've been able to dispel and kind of encourage others on, what's actual fact?
Well, as Brother Brian said, you don't need a lot of money to start. I think a lot of people are afraid or just apprehensive because they think they need a lot of money to start. But one of the biggest myths that I hear in people when I'm trying to encourage people to get involved, they all believe it's a gamble. Now, if you have a strategy and a plan, understanding, as Brian touched on earlier, learning how to read those charts, it's not really gambling. But I think people are afraid of these. They're unfamiliar with just reading that ticker on TV. It makes them nervous. They believe they need a lot of money, and then believe it's a gambling money at risk day. Everything at risk at the end of the day. But if you have the right strategy and the right process, I think you could secure it and manage it properly.
Yeah, that's good talk, bro. That's good talk. Darius, man, what's a myth, man? Because I definitely know during the pandemic, bro, they would post stuff and be like, I want to learn, man. What's been a myth that you've been running into that had to dispel?
Besides the number one myth that he gave, because that's the number one thing. Most people think they need a lot of money. The second is they're gonna get rich quick. It's gonna be easy. They think it's gonna be easy and it's gonna be quick. And this is a patient man's game. At the end of the day, it's about patience, especially if you're a real investor. It's about patience and discipline.
Yeah.
So far as myths, they pretty much took the number one. Everybody think you need a lot of money. Other than that, I run into a lot of people that get it and just think they getting rich quick because they had a good week or two. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? That's one of them. If you're not gonna get rich quick, it's 1 in a million. It's like the picket kinda. Most people do not get rich the first year, and most people lose most of their money the first year.
that's good. That's good. So Darius and guys, I want you to get ready for this one. Like when you're investing, are you trading shares, or are you trading options? How are you moving about and investing in the market?
Well, I mostly look for shares. I trade options, but I'm gonna tell people be safe with the options because it's hard to sell some of them contracts sometimes. Like you got to know what you're doing selling them contracts. If you don't know what you're doing with your stops and everything, the options could be a very dangerous game because when you lose your money, you lose your money. With the shares, it could go down to 0.0001. You still got 120,000 shares at just 0.0001 at the moment. And you just gotta hope and do some due diligence and see what they doing to see if it's gonna come back up. I have one company, AMNE. I have had this company since 1999. I bought 75,000 shares for $279. It's been at 0.0001 for the last 15, 20 years, and I cannot get it off my portfolio. Like I can't. I tried to sell it. Nope. Like just today, it's starting to move.
Yo, that's good stuff.
What company is that?
Yeah, I apologize. I
And
got to transfer to my phone here.
What company is that?
AMNE. Symbol A, American Green Company. AMNE.
It's a
They
green. It's a
moved like
green company.
first time they moved in like years, and I can't sell it. So at the point, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. It just give me a constant reminder of that red. Like I know where I've been.
Yeah.
You need that in your portfolio. That constant reminder, like, look, shit can go left.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Varay, are you trading shares? Are you buying shares? Are you trading options or um?
Yeah, primarily I buy shares. If you guys can hear me, I had to switch to my phone. This
Yes,
laptop.
sir. We can hear you clearly.
I had to too.
Good deal. Yeah, I primarily buy trade shares. By trade I'm a day trader, so I make money
Okay.
trading swing trades, day trades. But I do a lot of long term investments. The strategies that I set up for people is centered around long term investments. But I do buy options as well. And as Darius said, when that date gets close, man, you got to have somebody on the other side to buy those contracts. So and it all depends. If you like to short a stock, you gotta be ready to move quick,
Very.
and settle for the amount that you can make. And the same thing with day trading. But I do primarily day trading stocks, but I do a lot of investment with ETFs and
Okay.
funds as well.
Excellent. Excellent. B Sharp, my brother, trading share. What are you buying shares? Trading options. What's How do you move? How do you move?
So I diversify it. I play in the futures arena. Um, Definitely options. Mostly calls. I try to stay away from puts because they again are very risky.
Is that me or is he on mute?
No, he's going.
Okay, and then and then of course shares. It could be big cap, mid cap, small cap, the big boards, or it could be penny stock, depending. But uh, I diversify in sector and industry, and then even when it comes to certain types of securities.
Yo, that's good stuff, man.
Good.
That's
That's good.
good stuff. What somebody that's beginning, what type of what would you encourage them to do? Someone who's just getting involved in the stock market or want to get in stock market. We'll start with Bryant, then we'll come down to Darius, and we'll close with Varay on that.
Right now, honestly, as we went into 2021 with the switch of the presidency or whatever, the Biden in office, you're gonna have to switch your game in the stock market too. Um, Nowadays, I don't do the old man stocks. So I stay away from the Disney, Amazon, all those big stocks. I stay away from. They don't have their day. Right now, it's the little man world. So they're investing into these little companies. They put more money into these little companies because they looking for the next Amazon. They looking for the next Roku or next Zoom. They looking for these things right now. So right now they're pumping all this money into these smaller companies. So I've been doing most of my trading with the penny stocks because I'm like you said, we're looking for this diamond in the rough kind of. I got some strong companies. I feel positive and good about it. That's one thing people gotta understand. When you do make a trade, you have to feel good about the trade, or you would have bad dreams about this stuff. Like about that trade. I do personally. Like if I make a bad,
Yeah,
if I don't feel good about it, I ain't gonna sleep well. The next day I'm gonna get up. It's gonna bother me. So some of these penny companies have really lately with the day trading been really good. I
yeah.
have bigger companies, loan the Johnson and Johnsons and all that stuff. Yeah, I can have that. Buy spend $50,000 on a 200 shares. You keep that.
Hey B, man, someone who's just
Am
getting
I
in, man. What do
I'm wrong?
you encourage him to do, man?
Um, definitely seek out information. You have to understand that you're going to the market to purchase money. Um, you don't want to go in there. You need a shopping list, but you don't want to go in there and not know what you're doing. People go to the you need meat. You go to the meat market. You need fruit and vegetables. You go to the produce market, to the farmers market. So when you need money, you go to the stock market, but you don't go without knowing what to get or how to get it. You know what I'm saying? You have to know. So you need to educate yourself. Align yourself with someone who is well versed in the stock market, and then you have to know your objective. Are you trying to flip money and make money quick, or are you in there for the long term, or is it a mixture of both? So you definitely have to know your goals, and you have to know what you're in there for. When I first started out, I didn't know what I was doing, but I connected with someone who knew what he was doing, and now we're both doing well. So you don't want to go in there by yourself. Then you want to go in there with goals.
And sorry to cut you off, Brian, but that's the beautiful thing about today with technology and the social media and all the different platforms and the COVID Discord groups or whatever. Some of you might know Discord is an app, a chat app that it's a real geeky game chat app, but it's a lot of groups in there. But anyway, when I first started, it was none of this. You had to figure all this information out on your own, go into Yahoo conversations and dig up whatever you can. Now it's much easier because everybody is kind of moving like a unit. In my opinion, fellas, let me know if I'm wrong.
I definitely agree on that. That's why they were able to take over GameStop the other week, and it's unfortunate that, in my opinion, Robinhood and the other brokers did side with the hedge fund companies to keep us common folk, I guess you would call us, from becoming millionaires and billionaires. Since the pandemic, a lot of people have gone to the stock market to make money, and the word like it's not too long before everybody's a millionaire, and so then it's not going to be special anymore because you can get money from the stock market. So yes, you can go to Google, you can go to YouTube, you can learn all these things. Even with that, you want to be mindful of who you're watching. And then there are people out there who are scamming. Like one dude the other day was on Twitter telling people, "Yo, give me $1,000 and I'll give you picks for life." Somebody I know gave him $1,000 and he blocked them.
Wow.
Wow.
Be careful.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree with Darius and Brian. Again, I think number one, if you're starting now, and if anybody follows me, they know we all sit with these fancy smartphones in our hand that has access to all the information we need. Uh, the research, you got to learn a little bit before you get started, but you have access. The internet, YouTube, Google, you got a lot of information just learning right at your fingertips. But the best thing is what Brian said. I'm in, regardless of how long I've been in it, This year, when I really wanted to get focused a little more than I was in the past, I joined stock clubs. I joined stock groups. I'm in a bunch of different chat groups where you're listening to people who know a little more than you. I'm learning about futures, things like that. Darius touched on a lot of penny stocks. Just catching those stocks. I think in 2020 was the pandemic was an extremely painful experience for so many people. But if you understood or understand what happens in the market, and when all these biotech companies were getting pressed to move forward, opportunities to have an impact, you can catch those companies at $1.70, and these things are sitting at $30 now. So that swing when things
Sorry,
drop.
I just caught the Holy Ghost. Sorry.
and I mean, I was watching Darius just killing them. We were sharing stuff, between ourselves on Facebook. But during that time, when the market dropped in March, and a lot of people panicked, and it started to come back up in April, that was a perfect opportunity for folks to get started. And
Yeah,
again, it was a painful experience for a number of folks. People lost their job. That was an opportunity. And it's still there, believe it or not. Again, to learn. I think this is a great forum where we can teach people about how to get started. You got to do research. You got to understand it. You find the right people that you trust and you listen to them, but then
There we
do your
go.
due diligence on the backside. There
There we
was a
go.
happening in 2020 if you caught it at the right time. And hell, I fight myself all the time because I remember when Moderna was just when they just started talking about it, and I had that thing sitting at $19.
I
It
miss.
was it was just, it went up to 30 and it hovered there, hovered there. I was like, man, I can't just keep holding this. And here it is today, So little things like that is about being patient. It's not a get rich scheme when folks are talking about how do I get in and make a quick lick. For new investors, well, we're talking about trading, but I told people about investing. Slow money, it may not be sexy, but it works. And, taking those
Yes.
small wins, they all add up, and that's what I encourage a lot of people right now.
Now, I don't know if any of you guys been broke with the market, but I've been there, back, and there again. And my first time in the market, I was real young. I was in my 20s, and I was killing with the day trading. But my dumb ass wasn't paying taxes on my capital gains.
Mhm.
So many people are gonna get hit with these taxes because you're taxed at a 35% bracket. You're taxed at a much higher bracket when you day trade, which a lot of people in my Facebook on my timeline, that's what they're doing. They day trading or whatever. Yeah, I made 300-400 off that. Well, if you would have stood still and just been patient, you'd have made 3,000 or 4,000 off their ass instead of 300-400. But they so quick to just greed, because if greed fuels you when you first get started, that's for
Yeah.
you. Just shuffling the drive. Yeah, give me that, take that, give me that. Then you spinning, not knowing, like, my first 2 years, I did a couple 100,000, didn't know it, and end up owing the government $80,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
taxes, and I didn't know. I'm a young boy, in my 20s. My mama never spoke to me about no stock market. I'm learning this as I
Right.
go. I didn't have anybody that knew anything about it. It was just me against the game.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I learned from that. I do pay my taxes now. So I'm telling everybody up here, make sure you're putting away some of that, because the government gonna want they 30. I think it's like 33% or something like that, but it's up there in the range if you day trading like that. Now I try
Yeah.
to hold down the stocks longer. I try to hold them that year, because that year dropped down to like 14% or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I know it's a much lower rate once you
yeah,
overstay a year.
yeah, and I'll tell you you mentioned that in years ago when I love President Obama, but if anybody remember the Bush tax and all of the stuff that was talked about during the politics, literally that was the biggest change was the capital gains tax when President Obama came in office the first
Yeah.
time. I remember talking to my accountant, and it was clear. He was like, there were certain things I had to exercise on some options. He was like, you better do it now, before the new team comes in place. So you make a great point, Darius. That's another piece about people getting started. And this may be a whole nother conversation. There's ways that you can um, you create an LLC and you trade within that company, and you pay yourself a salary, and you get, there's a difference between the capital gains and the salary tax. There's
So
different ways to get around it, but that's an opportunity as well. But that's folks, once they get started, you definitely want to find the right people, the right tax folks to
So
help you.
sorry to cut you off. So I can trade from my company's name.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't do that if I wanted to and pay myself a salary.
Yes, sir.
Because I've been just just me or whatever. Even though they kind of put it all together, put my personal in the business, and they get it done. But I didn't know that. That was some good info right there.
Yep. And
Real quick, guys, we got a question that's been pending, and I want to get to it real quick. We got two questions actually that's coming up. That's kind of that we want to get to as people are logging in and out. Everybody, please make sure to share this conversation tonight. Got some great brothers on. Bryant mentioned that someone started off with $400, but is there something that you guys recommend when people are getting started in terms of a dollar amount? Is there a particular dollar amount that you recommend?
My answer to that question all the time is start with what you can afford to lose. Can afford to lose. You don't want to start with your mortgage payment. You don't want to start with your rent. If you have $500 sitting aside, not in your emergency fund account, but if you have $500 and you can afford to lose it, like I'm gonna buy some Louis Vuittons with these. You take that $500 and put it in the market, because if you flip that 500 into 1,500 or to 3,000, you can buy a couple of Louis Vuitton, or you can be smart, leave it in the market. Come on now, and then flip it some more. So start with what you can afford to lose. Go ahead.
And find out the company that owns Louis Vuitton
and buy them too.
And really own it.
That's what I'm talking. All right, let me calm down.
And really own it, right?
It's funny that you guys mentioned something like that, because everybody's talking about this Bitcoin market, right? I'm not into Bitcoin. I really don't know much about it. I'm stay in my lane, what I know.
Yeah.
So with the Bitcoin, you have these companies behind the scenes that has to make the transactions on all these currency, Bitcoin currency, moving this, moving that. So what I did is I started looking at the companies behind the scene, right?
There we go.
Found this company, CCTL, I believe it is, or whatever. Give me 2 seconds. Hold up. CCTL. They basically are behind the scenes that's moving all the currency for this Bitcoin, right? Within the last 3 days, it went from 0.1 to like 2 cents. I remember like a couple 100,000 shares with this right here.
And they're on the market now.
With this Bitcoin coming in, and then Amazon and all of them, Apple, all of them gonna be taking Bitcoin within the next couple of weeks. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the companies that's gonna be moving in the background, the puppet masters, because believe it or not, they making more money than the people who really think they're in Bitcoin, invested in the Bitcoin.
Yeah, and those companies, those stocks, there's a number of cryptocurrency stocks that move. When Bitcoin move, when Ether, any of the crypto, when it goes up, there's legitimate companies that manage the blockchain technology as well on the backside of these companies that move that Darius said. So that's another way to get in. You got a cryptocurrency ETF. I don't have it in front of me now, but I'll share with you, Jason, and you can send it out to the people who logged in. But yeah, there's a number of ways to make money. And as Brian said, even with Bitcoin, don't put your mortgage in there. If you're gonna invest in anything like Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, put it in there and leave it there. I'm a staunch proponent of don't buy those Jordans, buy that Nike stock, or put it so you make money to buy the Jordans with your expense money that's coming in from the return.
The government.
Ray, you mentioned it real quick, Darius. Hold on 1 second, real quick, and I'm gonna come to you, Darius. Ray, you mentioned it, man, to buy the stock. Nike dropped to $68 or something like that last year, right? During that big drop. Nike is sitting at over $141 right now.
Sure.
Go, Darius.
And that's the talk, Jason, that intimidate all the new people. Because they can't afford to buy Nike. When you tell them that Nike stock is $70, think about, well, I could buy 3. At that rate, in their brain already, they thinking, I'll never get any money just adding 3 a week. Me, I think, yeah, I will. I'm going to just keep adding 5 every day.
But they're going to buy the Jordans, though, D.
But the average brain thought that I deal with, and most people, they look at that as like that ain't gonna even do nothing for me because they think about the now.
Right.
I try to push my new people to the dollar stocks, the $2 stocks, the under $1 stocks, something that they can buy 100 or 200 and feel good about their purchase. You feel me?
Wait, Darius,
want somebody to feel good about what the shit they
that's
doing. Like you just don't want to put them out there and they feel like, oh, why did I do this?
but
No.
wait,
But so when a black person buy 500 shares as opposed to 5 shares, they feel way more positive about themselves than they did with just them 5.
but Darius, you know, it's interesting you said that. It's interesting you said that, and then we're gonna pull the other guys in some more to dig into this a little more because I got another question that came up.
Right.
That it's interesting you said that because that's just like giving a kid a $5 bill, but they want the 1, 2, 3, 4. They want the 20 quarters because the 20 quarters seem like more than the actual $5 bill. Like
I tell them
it's a
one.
psychology, guys. It's a psychology. I'm gonna put up a comment, but then we coming back to a question for you guys from the audience. What's a good app to use? Is Robinhood still good after the GameStop fiasco? All right, here's a comment. If you don't have enough to buy the name brand stock, you can't afford the name brand product. Okay, now back to the question about what platforms are you guys suggesting? What platforms are you suggesting? We'll start with Varay, we'll go to Brian, and then we'll close with Darius. What platforms?
I would suggest and recommend. Well, I use a lot of the regular traditional brokers. I use Fidelity, Merrill Lynch, and I have Charles Schwab. For new investors, you have Webull. Robinhood is out there. I just don't like what they did. Webull is an opportunity where the tools that's on there, the information you can get, the charts you can follow. I think it's an excellent app. I use it as well as a day trader because I get access to pre-market trading, early as 4 o'clock. So again, that's an opportunity for those who are day traders. But those apps, I think all of them are fair. But there's a number of them. Obviously, Cash App, PayPal. You can use everything out there. I like Webull because it gives you so much more information on the actual stock itself when you're doing your due diligence.
I heard Webull was good.
Brian, any suggestions of good apps or good platforms to trade on?
So it definitely varies based on the need of the person trading. I do use TD Ameritrade constantly. That's my favorite one. I just opened with Webull because I'm probably gonna start trading at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when you can make some decent gains when everyone else is asleep. You know what I'm saying? But it really depends. To me, TD Ameritrade, they have amazing tools that I can utilize. I love their charts and their indicators, their studies, and to me, that's just what I have. Everyone else is different. Others may be better for certain reasons and to certain people. So it depends on what you need.
Yeah. And I think I agree with TD Ameritrade. You have Thinkorswim there. I think that's great for new investors as well.
Yeah.
It helps you understand how to set up your own thought process on why you're choosing a stock.
Yeah. Someone in the comments is talking about StockWits app. There's a StockWits app that someone in the audience.
Yeah, StockTwits.
StockTwits, yeah.
StockTwits. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, that's Marmar.
So it's like.
No, go ahead, B.
StockTwits is definitely. I actually just started using StockTwits, and I'm still getting.
It's an indicator tool to give you the indication if a stock is going down or up. It's best for options trading. That's what that StockTwits is about. It gives you some good alerts, but it's pretty much letting you know the volatility and what's going on with some of the companies that's going to be moving for that day or that week. Far as brokerage, I'm with you, Brian. I'm with TD Ameritrade as well. I do most of my trades through there. I also have a Fidelity account. TD has a very good educational section. The video is like 5 to 6 minutes. It's mostly where I direct most people to go to because the videos are very good. They're very short, so people ain't there sitting a long time and they get straight to the point. I tell everyone to stay away from Robinhood, Cash App, all that nonsense. It's not just about the GME. Their service has frozen several times over the last 10 months where people wasn't able to make sales or buy anything because they're freezing. They're a new system. They're not valid. You have to get a company that's been around that got like it's like a college. You want accredited college, right? Well, Cash App and Robinhood is not accredited right now. And what they do is people love it because they dumb it down for them.
Yeah.
They dumb it down for you. So when you go in there, you look, as soon as you pull up, everything right there. What you made, what you lost, da 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 da. It doesn't make you work for anything. It dumbs it down. Which makes you a little dumber because you won't really benefit too much from it. Because they're making money. Their job is to make money off of us. Bottom line at the end of the day. I tell everyone stay away from Robinhood, Cash App. I tried directing the Webull, TD, E-Trade, Toss. You got the TOS system. That's pretty good. But all these new brokers like Cash App and Robinhood coming up in the apps, Chime, there's some other apps out there. I would stay away from them for at least the first 5 to 10 years or whatever because they'll shut it down on you at the drop of a dime. And then when the system gets shut down, oh well.
Yeah. You guys, Brian mentioned the dangers. Brian mentioned the dangers of where you get your sources, and Varay talked about make sure you connect with trusted people. I want to emphasize that a little more. I don't want to let that go because again, this is people's hard-earned money. Some don't have that extra, so even with what they're using, it's still some sort of risk involved. Varay, can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, and again, to me, that's one of the most important. If you're doing your own research, and that's where I would challenge people to put in the due diligence. When I share information with folks, it's about understanding what you're getting into. That's number one. Number two, it's a challenge when StockTwits has a bunch of chat rooms, has a bunch of people who have information. Some of it is good. Some of it is, there's just folks just shouting in the loud, empty room in a dark room. And it's hard to understand or see somebody's track record when you're in those type of chat rooms. EYL, Earn Your Leisure, is a group of brothers that do a podcast. To me, when they came here to Atlanta last February, we were all literally in the same room when Kobe's death was announced. But
what's the name?
EYL, it's
EYL, Earn Your Leisure. Rashad, what is it? Rashad
and Troy.
In Troy, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. And to me, that's for us that when you're trying to find an investor that looks like us, that sound like us, you got 4 people on this screen that probably have similar backgrounds and understand the market in different ways. I think that to me, that's where I learned as I shared people and started to send people to different areas. I don't like a lot of groups where you got to pay folks for it. And Brian touched on somebody saying they'll give them $1,000, they'll make money for you. At the end of the day, and from my sole belief, I don't mind sharing information. You give information. I agree with Darius. People need to see themselves winning, but I also believe we got to teach them how to invest for long term. That quick money is there. It's great. It's beautiful, but you got to build that psychological advance. As Brian just Darius said, people need to see that. Once they get that taste, and I think they need the right guidance to help them understand where that money should be going. Invest every month. That one Nike share, it all adds up.
It will.
And when Darius mentioned moving away from some of the older companies with long-term portfolios and long-term strategies. I guide people where you're getting dividends. Apple dividends, 28 cents. You got 100 shares, you're getting 28 cents every quarter. Little things like that. Now, that's, again, different people in different places in their lives, but that's the right guidance. So it's hard to put people in the right direction when you talk about trusted information. I share with folks that come to me with the folks that I go to or people that I surround myself with that I trust. I can't afford to lose money either, so I'll align them with, Wall Street Trapper is from Louisiana, he's from New Orleans. When you hear him talk, you wouldn't believe what his whole management is about and how he put it together, his stock portfolio. We just talked about Louis Vuitton. He posts stuff on Instagram about every one of those big companies or ETFs that have three or four of those luxury companies. But Darius said it best. Sometimes the mentality where we're at now, that's not where they need to be, but eventually we need to get them there. So I surround people to direct them to folks that I know, that I've sat in a room with, that I've talked to, that I've followed, that share trusted information, and that's my guidance that I give them when I talk to them.
Yeah, Brian, I want to come to you real quick. Hold on, Darius.
Okay.
What were you saying? Go ahead. Darius, go ahead. What were you saying to Varay?
I was saying that, Ray, with as far as the groups, I tell anybody, if a group charge you and you didn't make any money within that first month with that group, dump that damn group.
I agree with you there.
Some groups 20, some group 50, 100, whatever. Whatever they charge you, fine. You pay it. But if you don't make that money back and plus more within the first month, that group is not for you. You're not benefiting anything there.
I agree.
Go ahead. I'm good. That's all I wanted to say.
Brian, can you just share a little bit, man, on the whole trusted piece and how you vet, not so much vet, but how you explain to people this getting into the stock and being educated on the stock? Because I know, like, we've had conversations in our group where you ask them about what their needs are, the long term versus the short term, and the psychology behind investing. So what's been your go-to on how you are educating people in this stock conversation?
So I come from the understanding that we all were taught to go through the pipeline, if I can call it, like the manufacturing pipeline, where it's go to school, go to college, get a degree, get married, have kids, get a job. It's not working like that anymore. So you have to learn how to utilize the stock market. I try to help people understand that getting in the stock market is definitely going to benefit you in the long run and in the short run, because if you don't get a job, at least you have money working for you. At the end of the day, you want to employ your dollars. You want to put them jokers to work. Okay? Some of y'all in here, church folk, you send them Jehovah's Witnesses out, they should come back with more people. You know what I'm saying? You send the dollars out, they should return with some more people. You want to recruit money. That's what you want to do. You definitely want to put your money to work. I teach people, to look at certain parts on the chart. If the chart and if the stock is going up and if the indicators are aligned, then this is what you want to do. I definitely believe that joining a group of profitable traders to become educated is great. If you have to pay to get into that group, know who you're paying first and check their track record. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I actually post things on my Instagram, and somebody told me today, he was like, yo, you better watch it. You posting all these things. You better be careful. And I get it. But I post that not to brag, but to prove to people that look like me, get your business together. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be dependent on the government, because they're over there fighting about whether they want to give you $600 or $1,200, and you've been out of work for a year. They don't care. So you need to get your stuff together. My first stimulus check, $1,200, I flipped it 4 times over the first day I got it.
If you want to make if black people want to make America mad, we will all put our stimulus in the stock market. That would piss America the hell off. Everybody took their stimulus and bought some type of stocks or shares in a different company. We ain't all got invested in the same stuff, but we took that money, all the stimulus money that they gave us, and we invested that into the market somewhere, somehow. That will piss America off, because they probably just created a couple millionaires and they don't even know it.
let me tell you, the reason
I agree.
the reason they give you that money is because they know that people are going to take that money and go purchase things. Now, like he just said, if you go out there with that $1,200 and you put it back into the hands of somebody else,
Boom.
yeah, you're stimulating the economy. But after you buy your loaf of bread and your 50,000 rolls of tissue that you still trying to wipe your butt with, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't be looking in my closet, man. Don't be looking at my
you're not going to have anything in return. And so I want my people to understand, my God, I'm so passionate about this. Get your money and employ your dollars. If you have something and you look, even the Bible tells you you need to multiply that stuff. You get that money, you plan it into something good. You plan it into that Nike stock. You plan it into that McDonald's stock and let them dividends pay you real good. Come on, let your money grow. Oh God, let your money grow and work for you. And then you can leave your job. My God, if you learn this stuff, listen, I'm done. But if you learn this stuff, then the next time the market falls, you don't have so much money sitting in a 401k that some guy was supposed to watch, but he didn't pull your money out. He pulled his money out and let yours fall. Come on now. Y'all got to learn this stuff because y'all sitting there waiting for this unemployment check and this stimulus check, and and now your landlord coming to you. First of all, you really shouldn't have no landlord. You take this money, you go buy yourself a multifamily house. You rent out one of the things, but we're not going to talk about it. Employ your dollars, people. Come on.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy because I say to my wife all the time that America is not responsible for taking care of anyone.
No.
If this was 1,000 years ago, we would all be responsible. They wasn't giving out stimulus checks in the 1800s. You had to stand for yourself. America has made us so soft, and people think that America is supposed to take care of us. They're not here to take care of us. We're here to take care of ourselves. And that's how we've been bred and raised and born over and over to take care of yourself. But somewhere along the line, we got to confuse that America is here to take care of us. Oh, they're going to take care of me. They're going to take care of me. I'm telling anybody, take that stimulus check and invest it in some stocks. Instead of buying Jordans, put it in Jordan stock. It'll work better. You have 5 pair of Jordans within the next 4 months.
Let me help you. I agree with him 100%. You have to understand that you live in a capitalistic society, okay?
Yeah.
That means everything is all about business. America is about business. People companies buy life insurance policies on their employees. So when the employee dies, they get the money. They don't give it to the family. They get the money. And you know what they do with that? They add it to profit. That is an investment. I'm not investing into you getting an education. I'm paying so that when you die, I get millions of dollars. They don't care about you. And when you die, what do? They put an ad in the newspaper and they tell people, hey, we have a position open. So come work for us. Let us put a bounty on your head. And when you die, we're going to do it again. Listen when people are telling you.
Well, I'm doing the same thing too. I'm not mad at them because even if you borrow money from me in 2021, you got to take insurance life policy on you. If I don't get a life policy, you can't borrow no money from me in 2021. Me. I'm so serious. Like gangsters used to do it back in the day. They would put what's the names on their employees or their boys or whatever. So if they died, they get the beneficiary of it. It's America. This is how America is built on. This is how wealth is built.
So while y'all are
even when you run a company and they take them taxes out your check, they go sit that in an account that draws interest.
Right.
You got a big company, 100, 200, 300 employees, and you taking just say $20. You talking about 30, 40,000 a week sitting in the account quarterly.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a nice amount of interest drawn on that money.
And again, that when you understand, we talked about Cash App, we talked about some of these other apps, anything that's free, be it Facebook that we're on now, they're using our information and they're selling it to other people. When you have that in that situation, Brian touched on something earlier about capitalism, and that what pains me is I take a lot of emotion out of trading. You know,
Yeah.
when we had the threat of war or whatever was going on in Iran, you know, I'm buying stock that's associated to that conflict. Me and the wife had a long conversation about it, and it was like, yeah, everybody posting protect the soldiers, blah blah blah. I agree, but I'm buying a Teflon company that they use to protect those tanks and the soldiers, and at the opportune time, that's when you make a move. And to me, when folks get involved and understand the market and understand how certain sectors move with the chaos that we create as human beings, there's some people on the backside that benefit from it. You know, why not us? Why not understand that? Why not understand the ebb and flows of the market and the change in the system? And, you know, even again, when the pandemic hit, you know, I was praying nobody got sick, but I knew those biotech company was going crazy. And if you made 100 grand, 50 to 100 grand from April to September, they were printing money. I get excited about this. Like, Brian, I might start preaching, but they were printing money. And when I was telling people or just trying to share it, and it ain't about bragging. I share a lot of stuff too, Brian,
But they
just so
think
people
you
can see.
bragging, bro. They
They were
think you.
printing. Yeah, that's what it is. They were printing. They were literally printing money. If you couldn't make money from April to September, number one, we all had to have a hustle because things changed in the climate that we were in. But if you didn't make an effort to develop an individual skill or understand how the stock market can impact your life, man, it was amazing. But again, that's part of it is understanding this is capitalism, and we can sit back and wait for somebody to hand it to us, or you can go get it. Everything Darius talked about, being a teacher, owning a trucking company, dealing with day trades, and everything else he has to do as a black male in this society. Come on, people. We all
Yeah,
need to make that effort to get it done.
Here's the bullet point of it. As black men, we are behind the gun.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way they're moving with immigration and everything, we're about to become extinct. That's why most jobs you apply for, they want you to be bilingual. You have to speak English and Spanish. Most jobs you apply for now, you need to be bilingual. They're trying
yeah,
to wipe black people out of the system, period. If we don't see the future, we're going to be in trouble. I tell my wife this all the time. They pushing us right out. I'm gonna tell you this. How many times have you guys seen that ad on TV? They play it every 5 minutes about trafficking, human trafficking. They've
Yeah.
been playing it every 2 minutes on Spectrum.
yeah. I wanna go to Brian real quick, Darius. I wanna go to Brian real quick. Brian, you got a comment?
I got a whole bunch. I had to listen. I had
Because I got a question. I wanna bounce off of y'all because you all agreed on something and you said it at some point, and I want to emphasize it to those who are listening. But go ahead, make a comment, and then I'll ask the question.
my only comment is I had to stop reading these comments because these people was encouraging me to preach, and I can't do that because I'm telling you, I will Jason, listen, I will go clean in.
Woo! All right.
I'm gonna mute my mic because I feel.
So here's the question. You guys all talked about patience at one point. Darius said this is a patience man game. Varee talked about I removed the emotion from it. B, I want you to start, Darius, and then Varee closes on this particular note. Emphasize the importance of the patience and the psychology and the emotionalism behind what you're investing in. Like, just where should that be? How should that play out? Because that's very important.
Because black people put such a heavy high value on money, it makes us more emotional. We feel like we have to hold on to it, put it in the mattress. I'm not going to lose this money. We're going to put it in the mattress and let it sit there. When you get into the stock market and you see things going down, one, it's probably because you did not do your due diligence. The emotionalism in trading the stock market is you put something in there and you get emotional because you put it in there and you only want it to go up. You only want it to go up. So when it goes the other way, when there's a pullback and you see your account turn to red, you get out real quick. But you have to understand the fundamentals of trading. If you get in too high, it's going to fall down until it bounces and finds some support, and then it's going to go back up. But people don't want to learn anything. This is why it is imperative, it is important for my people, which are called by my name, to learn to read the chart. Because when you get into that stock market, it's a whole nother ball game. And what people do is if you get into somebody's chat room and they the wrong person and they know that you don't know what you're doing, they're going to tell you to get into something. And then when they're already in, they'll pull out. Your money will fall and you're going to sit there. They've done it to me. I'm telling you what I know. When you learn, now I don't even have emotion. I get into something after I can look at a chart for a minute, 30 seconds. I get in, and if I get out real quick, I know I got in there at the right time. You know what I'm saying? But that's one way to remove the emotionalism. Yes, be patient. When you get into something, you be like, yo, this is going to be a long-term play. I'm going to be patient. You get in there, you look in a couple of years down the road, a couple of months down the road, great. If you go, if you have gains, then maybe you pull out in a couple of days. You're like, you know what? I just flipped $100,000. Good. Take it out, get back in when it sells. But yes, you have to remove the emotion and you have to put the patience in there, because if you don't, you're going to mess yourself up. And I'm going to stop right here because these people are commenting. I don't want to preach.
Darius, this is a patience man game.
All right. I got a little story for you. Back when Obama first took term, we went into that depression. All the banks need to be bailed out. All the banks stocks dropped down to $1.25, maybe even went lower than that. I brought hundreds and hundreds of thousands of shares of these banks. Now it rolled up, right? It rolled up. Then it got real bad news that the pressure was getting worse. So it started to drop crazy. No patience. Guess what I did? First thing Brian said, you squeeze, give me what I sold. The next morning, I wake up, Obama bails them out with billions of dollars. The shit shoots to like $20, $30 a share. I was jumped off the George Washington Bridge. Not being patient. Pier 1 was another company. They almost went bankruptcy back in 2007. Share went under $1. I brought thousands of shares, rolled to $5, $6. I made some money. Got the bad news. I jumped. 2 days later, they got bailed. Stock went up to $22. I missed being a millionaire 3 times from patience.
Wow.
Being patient.
Man.
If I just stayed 24 more hours later with the banks, I'll be somewhere in Honolulu right now. Probably. Seriously. It's very important to be patient. Then people don't understand how you flip your money. You buy a stock for $600 or whatever. You buy a stock, you buy 1,000 shares for $300. It goes up 100%. So now you got $2,000. The 300 shares that you pay for ain't gonna be the whole 1,000 shares you purchased. It's gonna be a couple hundred of them shares most likely you purchased. You can sell those 100 back to get your investment back. Now that's a free stock. You let that run. Long as you stand in the green, leave it alone. It ain't bothering you. It's free. These are nest eggs and seeds that you place. And then you take that 300 or 400 that you originally spent, and then you go buy something else. And you keep repeating that process. Because everybody get one stock and they sit there forever, 300-400% up. But you got one stock where you could have done took some back and diversified that very quickly.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That's good, Dave.
It takes patience.
That's good.
All forms of patience that a lot of people don't have. It feeds off greed. So that's why when we even went back to, I was talking about the taxes, a lot of people come 2022, 2023, gonna have hella tax drama. They're gonna be taking your tax for the next 6 years.
Good stuff, bro.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's what's going to happen. And listen, when the bank freezes your account, because I've been through all this at a young age, it's a note when you log into your account to check your account. It happened to me on Black Friday. Closed all my.
Wow.
Man.
You have 22 days to get right with them or make some type of payment plan for them, or they taking everything in your account and they coming after everything you own.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uncle Sam, peace, man.
Vareed, talk about it, man. Vareed, talk about it, bro.
Yeah, you know,
Real time.
Darius's initial email was talking about having a plan, having a strategy. You know, adding to that, you got to have patience. And again, you know, whatever direction you go in, I do a lot of day trading. So if I could,
Text his number now. Call him. Help him because he need help. He still got 80 packages. Excuse me.
Okay.
Mute me.
I was getting ready to get in my truck, bro. A little ways away though, but I'd have been ready. Yeah. So again, patience to me is one of the most important parts of understanding trading, understanding investing. And again, like I said earlier, I'm a trader and I'm an investor. So when I talk to people about setting up strategy, I'm talking about buying stock every month, and it's not just buying Apple. I'm talking about buying ETFs, buying investment index funds. Every month. If you're putting money in the bank, your bank's going to give you 0.09% interest. You know, we find these ETFs, and I'll share them with you, Jason, and you can send them out to the people here, and have folks do their own due diligence. But you got some of these ETF funds, and again, in 2020, amazing 35% returns, 40% returns, and obviously you got the tech stock that went crazy. But it's about grabbing them and holding them. Darius touched on it. If you want to take some gains, take some of that profit. I'm a staunch proponent about securing profits. When it comes to day trade, when you get in the green, you set that target. Whatever you can live with, you grab it, and you secure your profit targets. Once that market opens, you set that stop loss, your stop limit. You take your money, long as you're in the green. Patience is a key. I think removing the emotions for me when I it doesn't matter what company. I do my due diligence. I try to understand what's happening. You know, there was 3 companies that made a lot of runs today, made money on them today. I got out of the market around 11:30. My wife said, "You know what? You know, you can go to lunch or do whatever." I mean, I went and played golf. But it's the choices you make at that point. I could have continued to stay in there and chase, and it continued to run 2 of the stocks that I had this morning. But for me, I had a target that day. I had a strategy. I had a plan, and it was okay for me to step away. Uh, I don't have any regrets. The only regret I have is all the stock clubs when I'm looking at these 15 alerts, you know, telling me that it's still running again. And I have to put that aside. Tomorrow's another day. The fear of missing out, it can't be there. And that's a natural emotion for everyone because the GameStop, that stock, we had 3 or 4 other stock in the last 2 days that ran 5, 6, 1,000%. And if you understood that, you know, with the day trade and the swing trades, could have made money there just as much as people made money and lost with GameStop. But that's understanding where to look, the information, doing your due diligence. But when I mentioned patience, you know, I got a few folks that I'm meeting with Friday, and the idea of you put money in your bank account, whatever your $500 a week you take out of your check, and it's sitting there. The bank is taking your $500, loaning it out to somebody at a 7% interest, and they're giving you less than 0.5% on your dollar. Put that in your portfolio, invest it in an index fund, which is going to go up. The stock market in the last 30 years had 8 bad years that may have had 5% to 8% down. Those other 22 years, they've been up 15, 20, 28%. And we can do the math forever. And it's as simple as that about where you put your money. And again, we're in different places in our lives. That's the other thing when I talk to people and giving them advice. Some folks got a later start, so they're going to be a little more aggressive. But at the end of the day, being patient and allowing that money to work with that compound interest, putting that money in there, putting the investment in there, buying those stocks every month. And when it grows, you're going to grow on top of what's already there. That's what I talk about patience. And again, removing the emotions. Don't invest your mortgage. Don't invest the money you need to pay your expenses every week. Not your things that we call so-called savings account should be savings account. That money should go in there. If you have an emergency fund, it don't need to be in the stock market. Put that somewhere else. And those are the things when I talk to people about positioning their money that allows the patience to set and allow it to grow.
Yo, that's good talk. Good talk. Marvin, are you on? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can hear you. Just want to make sure you're on. We're going to update you, man. We are currently at this moment talking about removing the emotion to think long term in investing. And we're talking about how having qualities of character like patience um, can help us in the long run. We talked about how patience has impact our ability to make the right trades and not pull out when we should stay in, missed opportunities because of impatience. We're kind of a little bit beyond the script because some questions and things came in, and so we were just rocking and rolling, man. So um, we're gonna continue on with this conversation, guys. We have my good brother Marvin log in at this moment, and he's adding to the conversation. Marv, can you just tell us a little bit, man, how long you've been investing, man, and how it's been going for you, bro?
Oh, sure. Hey, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me on, and I appreciate you letting me get in. Sorry for the delay, man. My daughter snuck up on us from Georgia, and we down here in Delaware, and she's visiting with my new granddaughter. So we were out eating. I knew I was pressed for time to get back here, but I thank you guys for allowing me on. I started trading probably back in 2000, and I started with penny stocks because it was the environment that I was around, the guys I was working with, they were talking about it and they were doing it, and I started to pick it up. And I was playing the quick. I looked at it as quick money game with penny stock. Looking for the ones that will blow up for you so you can go on. But I learned quick that if you're not careful, you won't be blowing anything up but your own bank account. Because you'll mess your money up. That was one of the things that I learned, and I just picked up things here and there over the years, just learning from different people, and just focusing. The number one thing that gave me a problem was greed, not knowing when to get out when you were making a certain profit. You know what I mean? Always saying, I'm gonna give it another hour, or I'm gonna give it another day, and I wind up, losing. And that was one of the things. That was the hardest thing I had to battle, and truthfully, I still battle with it now. The one thing I did learn, and I don't want to be too advanced, is those what do you call them? The stop limits. I've learned to put those stop limits in and really discipline myself on those stop limits. So if the stock does start rolling back, I can get out and take a little loss compared to a giant loss.
Yeah. So what Marvin is talking about, Brian, can you just elaborate a little bit on the stop limits real quick, just for those that are listening, bring them up to date, and then we'll share how they can contact you guys after all of this. Oh, you're still on mute, B.
All right. So, my bad. So that's real nice about Marvin using stop limits. Jason actually talked to me about it a couple of times within the last 2 months, and I've still been disobedient. So Marvin, I'm gonna have to take you, because listen, the stop limit will save your life. Come on, my God, it'll save your life. But we're not gonna tap in right there. Not tonight. Amen. I'm gonna put my regular voice back on, but if I use stop limits, last year, I lost 8,000 in 5 minutes, and then another day I lost 16,000 in 2 minutes.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. People are like, "Oh my God, I could have bought like 50 pair of Jordans." Yeah, you could have, but it goes back to emotionalism and patience. I jumped into Amazon and Tesla, both plays, and what happened is I was chasing the stock as it was going up. And and this seems to happen every time I chase. I believe the ancestors of God be like, listen, don't you do it. So I jumped in, I was chasing because they were like, oh my goodness, it's going up. And as soon as Bryant jumps into a stock, if you see a stock falling, it's because Bryant jumped into it. Okay. So I fell. And Jason is always, well, bro, did you put? I said, don't ask me that question. So yes, learn to use a stop loss or stop limit, because when you get in and it starts to fall, you will minimize your loss. However, the patience and the emotionalism was gone from me. Like I was not emotional, because when I saw that, dang, I just lost $16,000, I stepped away from the computer. I put my phone down. And the next day I was like, it's only $16,000. It's only $8,000, because I know how to get the money back. So
that's good. That's good. That's where that strategy and that's where that strategy and that plan. And I think, when the month that I had my biggest loss, I was like mad that I kind of wasn't mad. I'm like, bro, like you ain't got it like that, right? Like that was, I'm like, I was happy that I kind of had 2 profitable weeks, right? But then like that 3rd week, it was like heat check. When you playing basketball, it's like you get a little beside yourself, and I had a heat check, but it was just like I had the strategy to get it back. I knew that I'm in environments that can help coach me back to get what I lost and more. So I think that becomes again real critical for everybody that's listening tonight. I want you to share this conversation, guys. I want you to get your friends, do a replay, go back and listen to what's going on, and you can DM us, inbox us, and see how we can connect. And I'm gonna refer you to probably Brian or Varay or Darius or something, or Marv. I'm not gonna be doing too much. For tonight is educational purposes only. Educational purposes only, guys. All right. And so but yeah, so I want to kind of close on this whole thing. I think we're gonna get some enjoyment from this. Let's talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. Let's talk about this GameStop. Let's talk about this AMC, right? I want to there was something that I sent you guys. I want to kind of pontificate on this statement, and I want to get your thoughts, right? Varay touched on the ending part of this a little bit, but the statement was, I don't own any Tesla, GameStop, or AMC, but every week I buy undervalued stocks, which pays me dividends. I have a solid game plan and execute it daily. I don't just jump on what's popular at the time. There's nothing worse than chasing a boat that has already sailed. New investors make the mistake of buying a stock after hearing of crazy gains being made. If you hear that stock is skyrocketing, it's usually too late to get in. Spend your time researching the next play instead. That way you won't get crushed when profit takings begin. I'm not saying there's no money to be made on popular stocks. There can be. I'd rather buy before the hype and sell at a profit to those buying now that the profit has hit the news. If I see a stock gaining like crazy, I don't let fear of missing out get the best of me. I start researching harder. Guys, let's talk about this a little bit, man. That statement is so profound. It's simple. It gives so much, wisdom there. Let's start with Varay, then we're gonna go to Marvin, then we're gonna go to Darius, then we're going to close on that with Brian. Let's break this down a little bit, because I think people, they like to ride the hype. They like to ride the hype. It took me a couple days. Me and Brian was having a conversation, and in that conversation, he's mentioning something. I'm doing the reading. I hit Marv up. Marv like, oh man, I've been in that already. I wasn't just going with it, and and me and Brian went in a little more depth because for this company, you kind of had to dig a little bit. It wasn't something that you was just gonna pull up, but that research was very critical before I was able to get in. And so, Varay, man, let's talk about jumping into those popular stocks while it's moving. And you talked about it a little. You mentioned it a moment ago. Fear of missing out. Let's break that down a little bit more, man, for those who are listening.
Yeah, I'll tell you, GameStop and the whole Reddit play, that was definitely, I would say, it's an anomaly, but I think it's going to happen again. The change or the process. Remember that Reddit group for a minute. Wall Street Bets. I was only a member of it because I used to just catch the weekly snapshots of the earnings play, and they used to post that all the time from the earnings whisperer. So I, with the day trading, I like to catch these earnings of these companies that's coming up a week ahead. I'll buy it 2 days ahead of time. All I'm looking for is a $3 or $4 swing. You put 1,000 shares out there, you make $4,000, and you move on. That's, again, the emotions is out of it. Got nothing to do with it. But catching like the GameStop, and I'll share with you, and I'll share it in the group. I'll post it. I literally had GameStop on January 13th or 14th when they made the change to their stock went up almost about $12. As a day trader, and what I do every day, my job is to understand those indicators. Brian's going to touch on it, and to me, understanding when to get stop, when to get out, that goes a lot to the charts, goes a lot to the indicators. That's on the backside. Now, GameStop, back on January 13th, again, when they assigned a new CEO, just by that simple play, it went up 12, almost might have been like $19. But it was at 24. It went up to like 38 or somewhere around there. This is before the chaos. I literally had it. I sold it that day, made $1,400. I told my wife when I showed her, she had a fit because, like, why didn't you hold it? Nobody knew this was going to happen with GameStop. Fear of missing out and chasing it. That is again, when we talk about the psychological piece, and in the group on the Facebook, I'll put some books out there that talks about the psychology behind trading and trying to remove emotions behind it and understanding the things that we go through naturally by moving money, losing money, and then chasing that to get the bigger win, taking risky bets to try to make up for a loss. Those things is what drive people to lose all their money. And again, you're going to learn that by talking to good investors, understanding honest investors. Like everyone on here talked about how we took a loss. I took a loss on cost. I made $15,000 the week before and gave back $8,000 because I played the late run, thinking it would pop again. But the idea of missing out, the fear of missing out, and the idea of not understanding when to get in and get out. The indicators, once you learn it and invest in the craft, if you're going to trade like that, you got to understand the charts. You got to understand there's clear indicators, the RSIs, the oversold stock. There's things that we can go in forever, but understanding when to get out and how to get out. GameStop, it was a nice run. It was a nice chase. As a day trader, I'm looking for those runners every day myself, but I'm in and out the same day. I'm not holding it for 2 days. There is swing trades when you have pending news come from companies or SPACs that's getting ready to invest in companies. Again, these are other conversations we can have, but the emotions behind not missing out and chasing it, that's an immediate killer to your investment portfolio. That money's going to drop immediately because when you're getting in when it's high, it's only going to go up so much. As a day trader, holding that stock forever doesn't make sense. It's going to go to $1 million.
Yeah. Marv, let's talk
Yes,
about
sir.
it, man. Chasing stock, fear of missing out, new investors.
Man, it's so easy to get caught up in the chase, man. I mean, when that GameStop was going on, I was like, man, I need to jump in here. I need to jump in here, and I didn't jump in there because I knew eventually it was gonna pull back. I should have bet on it coming back down, and I didn't jump there either. I should have because I knew it was gonna happen, just a matter of when. And like the last 4 months, I've been learning how to play the options. And I think, in my opinion, that's just a better way for me. I'm not saying for anybody else, for me to see some return on my money. I did the traditional stocks where you buy them and you wait for months and years for them to go up. I just like the thrill personally of the chase, but I needed to learn how to cut the greed out and how to have that patience. And I've actually been up $6,000. Should have got out, stayed around, and only wound up making $1,500. And I know some like, man, you was at 6, why you didn't get out? Learning discipline, the greed can get you quick. It's just the thrill of it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I recently, I mean in the last 30 days probably, have learned to, curb myself, how to say, you know what? No, we getting out of here. I'm really proud of me for not chasing GameStop, because me 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I would have chased it, you know? And it's so worth learning this game, because growing up, we don't know this. We don't trust nobody with our money. We barely put it in the banks. My grandmother taught me the two safest places for your money was under your mattress or in a TV dinner box in the freezer. Them was the two places that I can always know that, because it was yours. Yeah. And until we learn this side of the game, we're going to stay behind. We're going to stay behind until we learn how to make our money work for us. You know, and I'll say this last thing. Our money is soldiers. They're supposed to go out there and bring back more soldiers. You know, but most of us, we just sit on what we have and we work like this. And by working like this, nothing can never fall in it. So we got to take that risk, because with there's no risk, there ain't no gain. Yeah. There's no gain. Think about it. You want to lose weight? You're going to risk being sore. You're going to risk being hurt. You're going to risk getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But the end result in a couple of months, you and everybody surrounded going to love it. So with the money, we got to do the same thing. Latch on with a coach, somebody that can show you, and don't be afraid to invest in a coach that can show you what to do. We can't always get the hookup. I'm here to be real tonight. I'm sorry. We can't get this ain't McDonald's and you getting a hookup on a number 7. We did that in high school. That's over. You got to pay for where you want to go. But the small investment you put in a coach will get you beyond where you ever thought you can go. I didn't want to pay $700, $1,000 to somebody to show me this. I want to go sit up on YouTube and learn it for free and never actually get it. Come on, cut it out. You know, go to the coach, invest in somebody. Jason, the brother Brian, they know people that can get you there, probably even them. Don't be ashamed. Invest in yourself to make your family better tomorrow.
You hit it on the nose, man. Hit it on the nose. You added something there, Marv, about understanding options, and Brian, and he may be able to touch on it a little better. I'll tell you, man, with the momentum swings with GameStop, even after all of the chaos, all last week, that thing went up and down $30 or $40, up and down all day, all last week. I made some momentum kills just by playing that stock. After hours is at $49. Next day, spiked up $95. Get in and out. But that's a whole nother conversation. That's the game I play. Day trading.
Listen, you know what's crazy, Marv. You talked about the put, right? Well, I don't know if you mentioned put, but you talked about it coming down, and Brian gonna close. Darius gonna go next on this statement about the chase and the fear of missing out, and Brian's gonna close. But I knew it was coming down, right? Yep. And I told somebody it was coming down. I just didn't know when, right? So I told the person, I'm like, yo, cash out. I'm like, cash out. And they looking at the text like, what? I'm like, yo, cash out. And they was like, so then the next day it shot up like another 100-something points. And I'm like, dang, Jay, you looking like you don't know what you're talking about. So I ain't staying down for like 2 days, right? But I know it's coming down. I know, like, I just know, like, I'm reading all the articles and I know what I know. And I'm like, it's coming down. It's coming down. So the person finally cashed out. And I think that Thursday or Friday, it dropped like 150 points. And this time it didn't jump back up. And I sent the screenshot. And I said, yo, look. See, I knew it was coming down. I just didn't know when. And I didn't want to put no 2-week put on it or 3-week put on it. And because those averages was just really, really off. Those ratios was really, really off in terms of the bid and the ask, right? So, but yeah, Darius, man, let's talk about the GameStop. Let's talk about the AMC. People bought in, overvalued, overshared. Chasing the money, man, because they were fearful. They was listening. They were fearful of missing out. And their cousin John called them and was like, yo, we about to get this guap. And dude, man, talk about the negative impact that it can have of chasing, man.
The GameStop, the AMC, Naked Brand, and there was one other company. I didn't mess with any.
It was Nokia, NOK.
Yeah,
and cost.
I didn't mess with any of them, but I happened to buy Naked Brand all before this stuff popped off, and I'm still holding it. I still have it because it's been up and down. You know, I'm just sitting on it. I don't need it, so I'm gonna just see what it do. Never know with this game. But when I woke up and seen, I'm not a chaser at all. I learned firsthand. You don't chase. You get up and that thing is gone. It's gone. You catch this bus. Bottom line, it'd be way.
His volume went out.
Always going to be another one as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm doing a lot of things. Once I get up and I see it's gone, I've learned firsthand, you don't chase, you catch the next boat going out, you catch the next bus, because like you said, that thing went up, it came down, went up, came down. And unless you hanging with Cleo, and I believe she in jail somewhere, you don't know what the hell this thing about to do. I bought Naked Brand so cheap that I said I'll sit on it. I'm up over 160% on it now, but never know what's going on with the market. You never know when it's gonna hit. What I didn't like is how they tried to blame Robinhood. Like Robinhood was the issue of freezing out. What those brokers did, they let everybody know that they run the game.
Yep.
They let us know that they're in control of what go on. That's why people wasn't able to buy that stuff and they shut it down. Because people like us, our skin colors were making too much money off of it. This is just my theory. I could be wrong.
You hit it on the nose. I think there was way too many people that was from the non-traditional financial market capitalize. Even if it's the young Reddit players that just didn't wear the suits every day and look like them, they had a problem with it.
They had a problem with it. And most of those people are in Robinhood. A large percentage of them are in Robinhood. So they put the blame on Robinhood when it wasn't Robinhood. TD shut you down. E-Trade shut you down. Toss, Webull,
Alley. Everybody was shut down.
You heard in the news about shutting people down and not letting people be able to buy was Robinhood.
Yeah, but they had the biggest volume, and once they stopped that, that's when the volume stopped.
Boom.
Robinhood had the biggest volume.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. That's all it was at the end of the day. It was a greed game. And they see people who wasn't rich getting richer. They got to shut that down. All the Cadillacs and Pepsis to be bought. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that. So they shut us down. They let us know what it was. So when everyone was chasing and going crazy rambling, man, listen, I said, look, I'm going to find another 3 hoes I can mess with. I don't need these. They ain't going to be good for me. And GameStop had got so expensive, they pushed it up so high to where the average cat couldn't buy it anymore.
It almost hit 500, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was almost at 500. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I had that Monday before the craziness happened. I played golf. I got out of the market around 11:30. I got done around 3:30 at the golf course, and I had like 15 alerts on my phone from the different groups I'm in. It was at $90 then. I got in then. I made money, but man, it was crazy. It just didn't make any sense, but it was an opportunity. If people got in and got out, that's the thing. And my mantra is green over greed, and that's part of the stock profits group that I'm in. You just got to take those profits when you can. And when you hold on to it, which I wind up doing myself the next week with costs, you give some of those profits back. But it was a nice run. If you got in.
Varay, real quick. Green over greed.
Killer.
Yes, sir.
Green. Okay. I like to take moments, man. Green over greed. Okay. Got to remember that. Green over greed. Yo, B, man, let's talk about it, bro. Let's give some wisdom and some insight on this. Got a few more minutes and then we're going to close out. I know we can probably go on and share more, but maybe we'll have to do a part 2 and kind of maybe get more in depth with some particulars in terms of options and futures and things like that. But just wanted to give a general synopsis of trading, investing, stock market, long-term, short-term, from your brothers that you walk by every single day. We were intentional not to put a whole bunch of suits up here, so that you know that this is every day that people are doing this. People, your neighbor is doing this. The person downstairs, you think they broke because they in the studio apartment. They just don't want to, buy the house yet, but they sitting on, 6, 7, 8 figures investing, right? Everybody has a different way of doing it, and that's why this particular panel was chosen. So B, man, let's talk about it, man. Insight, man. GameStop, AMC, Reddit group, Wall Street Beats, like all of that, man. Fear of losing out.
So the fear of missing out. You have to understand, like the brothers were saying, there is a very big group of people that want to, or if I can say a small group of people that want to make sure that their group stays small. They want to make sure that there are workers that will always work for their companies, that they can pay them little money. And in order for that to happen, you have to make sure that they cannot make millions of dollars. Those people that they want to keep out are us. Mm-hmm. So what happens? The hedge funds are calling, Robin Hood, and Robin Hood supposed to be on our side. Hey, you got to stop them, because all these hedge funds were betting against these companies. But when we saw that we could get together and push the price up to $483 for GameStop, these companies literally lost billions of dollars. And so GameStop was like, you know what? I mean, Robinhood is like, oh, you know what? We're going to side with the hedge fund companies because they'll give us more money. And then they took our money. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand, one, corporations and banks are not for the people. The people are for them. So in essence, we are the product. They're making money off of us.
Woo!
You have to understand that banks, it's a nice word, I'm going to the bank, but a bank itself considers itself a store. This is store number 932. Banks don't care about your money. Put your money here. Let us hold it. Okay. Everybody wants to make money. So when you understand that, that will help you remove the emotion. They don't care about you. They don't care that your nanny, needs surgery and you got to take that money out. They care about flipping money, and you need to put your money in here so we can get this money. Okay. So when it comes to, hey, I'm trying to get my money out so I can cash out at GameStop. Well, there's a 2-hour hold. I'm sorry. We're going to have to just put you on. People sitting in there, you got a couple of $1 million because you was in GameStop, and they telling you to hold. And while you're in GameStop, the hedge funds are clearing out their positions, taking their money. GameStop is going down, and you was a millionaire for a minute, but now you back to being a hundredaire. Okay, so it wasn't a setup. The big people just didn't want to be played. They didn't want to be embarrassed. And that's what it is. So if we can look embarrassed and be embarrassed, then they're going to flip it and say, that's why you should put your money in a hedge fund, because little retail traders don't know how to trade and use the stock market. It's a very dangerous tool, and you're going to lose all your money. People, it goes back to the beginning. Learn how to trade. Learn how to trade. If Robinhood mess you up like that, you take your money and you go to a different brokerage. TD Ameritrade was trying to play that mess with me too. I called them real quick. I said, let's get something straight. You see all that money in that account? I'm only one person, but I got a lot of employees. We can go somewhere else. They fixed my stuff. Come on. I don't play that. My God.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, bro. Man, I appreciate you guys for lending that for people who are, just getting in, for everybody who heard about the fiasco 2 weeks ago and just, was trying to get in. Some got in and they was just buying stuff too high. Like, you should not be buying AMC at $19. You know,
Right.
you should not be buying GameStop at $300 or $200. You shouldn't be buying GameStop at $150 or $100, right? Like,
Yeah.
but you know, the hype was getting them, and to watch, you know, read articles where one guy lost 187K. You know, read another one where another guy lost this, and I mean, it was just, you know, unfortunate because I'm looking at it like, yo, man, innocent people, you know, really got messed up by this, and we want to encourage everybody to, you know, seek guidance. You know, even if you don't go to a brokerage, seek professional help. There are a lot of really good, Marvin mentioned coaches. There are a lot of good coaches and mentors out here that are really, really great, and they know what they're doing. They have a strategy, and they can help you create one for yourself, because everybody has different needs, and everybody's responsibilities are different. And so you want to curtail something that you can work for yourself, for your family, and for your future, guys. So, you know, we get ready to log off, but this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to think about one thing that you want to leave with everybody tonight. I want you to take a minute and think about one thing that you want to leave with everybody tonight. I want to say that I appreciate you all for taking time out, for sharing tonight. There are people in the inboxes and DMs asking about your information. So if you see people hitting you up, you know, they just double check to make sure that they're not, what do you call it, spam, but that they're real people. But it's a couple of people that are asking for, you know, your information, and we want to make sure that they get it, and that they can, you know, connect with you. I know Bryant has a group where we're all in. That's one of the groups that I'm a part of. That definitely has enhanced my knowledge and my awareness of the market and trading. Long-term and short-term options has increased my options. I'm a part of another group. Me and Marvin are a part of another group with Coach Julian Stewart, where we took a strategy class last year. And Darius connected me to a group on Discord that I'm a part of. So I'm getting, you know, information from different sources, and it's not even so much the leads as much as it is the strategies, because you gotta have a plan. You gotta find out what works for you, and you have, as they mentioned, has to be trusted resources. Has to be trusted resource. Guys, I'm gonna say that again. This it has to be trusted resources, right? Where did you get it from? What's their track record? Right? What's their track record? Get to know them, follow them for a couple of weeks, or, you know, do some research. Maybe shoot them the DM, shoot them the inbox, and find out, you know, what they're offering. Darius talked about getting in groups and not making money. You don't get in groups just to get in groups, right? Just to brag about you know, being in a stock market group. Some people, no, you get into groups to learn how to, as they said, make money, right? And make money for you and your family, and assign your money and designate your money and grow your money, so you're not sitting around getting mad because they won't sign the stimulus, right?
Right.
A lot of people ain't even worried about, the right people not even worried about the stimulus because they don't qualify. So, you know, you want to get to that place. And as, you know, definitely speaking to our African-American community, let's educate, guys. Let's educate ourselves. Let's read, right? Let's break away. Your environment is very, very important. Your environment, who you're around, is very, very important, guys. So let's start with Darius, man. Darius, one thing that you want to leave the people tonight.
If I could leave one thing with the people, don't chase and be greedy. Be blessed with what you get, what you got, what you made out with, and be happy and move on. Because greed is the mother of evil. It's the mother of it. Seriously, it's the mother of all evil, and it will get you there. So those my words. If anything, watch your greed. Don't chase. Set your stop limits. Be patient, and follow your journey and see it through.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. Hey, Marv, man, what do you want to leave the people tonight, man?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what my grandmother used to tell me. Show me your friends and I'm going to show you you. You hang with 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke person. You hang with 5 wealthy people or 5 people that's doing things with their life and their money, you're going to be the 6th person that's doing things with your money and with your life. You know, your circle matters. It's not nothing against them. Everybody can't go where you go. Everybody can't do what you do, but you can make sure that you make sure your family has what it needs. And I'm telling you, we got to break chains, guys. We can't just say it's normal and it's okay to be just getting by. We got to change that. And it starts with you. Being on this video shows, on this webinar shows you want something different. And I challenge you to take it. Get up with somebody that's doing what you want to do. That's what I got.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Varay?
Yeah, my one thing that I would want to leave with the people is invest in yourself. Pay yourself every month. You know, Brian touched on some of these big companies and they have employees and they put insurance on those employees. When those employees are gone, they put an ad in the paper saying, hey, I got another position. Yeah. When you look at these companies and you look at these CEOs, I would challenge you to put your name in there. Freeman Inc. That's the company that I work for. And I'm the CEO of that company, and I'm going to invest in myself every week. Invest. And when I talk about investing in yourself, spiritually, we got to take time to understand what we're here and our purpose. Mentally, you got to read. And this is all part of investing in yourself. You got to read. You got to read information. You got to put the time in. You got to do your due diligence. You got to understand. Ask questions. Marvin said it earlier. We can't be embarrassed. We're at a point now where we have to break the cycle. Invest in yourself mentally, spiritually, physically. We got to be able to do the work. We got to get out there. And financially, it has to happen. I think financial freedom is centered around financial literacy. By investing in yourself, understanding and learning how to manage your money and allow your money to manage itself and work for you when you sleep. That's all tied into investing in yourself. So I would leave with that one quote: invest in yourself because your family depends on you.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey B, can you give us closing remarks and a benediction?
Listen, God bless you. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. My God, that's something. Listen. I'll be a voice actor all day long, but sometimes if I play too much like that, it gets real. Something stirred up on the inside, my God, but I'm not going to start right now. Listen, I just want to say, if I can leave you guys with something, change your mindset. Yes. Change your mindset. When I first started out, I see you, Jasmine. When I first started out 5 years ago, and I'm gonna be quick. I was so adamant about people trading that I helped some of my friends open an account, and I put my money in their account, and I showed them this is how you flip this money, and they saw the progress. They saw I was doing good. I'm the one that put the money in the account and spent my time. They closed their account and they walked off saying, this is not for me. When I started, I was training for free. Oh, this ain't for me. This ain't for me. Then when I started my school in the beginning of the pandemic, $19 a month. Oh, you charging too much. You charging too much. You should be charging free. The same people I gave you money to do this, but you saying no, I can't. I gotta get, like somebody told me I'm saving up for some jeans. Oh my God, where's the mind? I need a new car. When the first stimulus check hit, do you know how many people was driving around with a brand new used car? We was counting them brand new used car license plates. I need people to change it. It's not even a new car. It's a new used one. Change your mindset, because the thing is, they look at us and they know if we give these people the money, they're going to buy name brand things. Listen, I'm a very unassuming dude. I shop at Big and Tall, Ain't no name brand nowhere on me or in my house. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates walking around with Louis Vuitton and being stupid, sitting there bedazzling your doggone forehead with a big old bedazzle in your head. What's wrong with you? Change your mindset. Because when you change your mindset, then you start to understand money is a tool. And this thing will get you more money. Like he said. And he wasn't even here when I said it. Your money should be like it's an army going out and recruiting and bringing you back some more money. And like Varee said, when you wake up in the morning and that stock gaps up and you pull out, you made money while you were asleep. And Varee, I'm in that group with you. I just realized we're in the same group with Brian, with David. Okay. But that's all I have to say. If you change your mindset, they will start looking at us like, hey, they're not spending money no more. And then we now starting to spend money amongst ourselves. We dangerous. Sure. Understand who you are. I gotta stop because I'm telling you, it's passionate to me. I love my people, and I want to see everybody succeed. But y'all gotta stop coming to me talking about some. Can I get a coupon? No, I have raised my price to teach, and I'm done. But now everybody like, oh, but when they saw that I made $53,000 today, it was like, yo, change your mindset. Money is a tool. You get that tool. Go ahead.
Hey B, hold on. I think the platform froze when you said how much you made today. Yo, what was your birthday gift? How much was your birthday gift, B? B, how much was your birthday gift?
Yesterday, my birthday gift was $22,000. That's per day. It resets. So yesterday on my birthday, I made $22,000. Okay. Today, I made an additional $53,000 on top of that 22 that I made yesterday. And so, and then also understand too what Darius was saying. This is my free shares riding up. I took my initial investment out. So this is just money that, so come on, y'all. Listen, I'm tired of hearing people complain. I ain't got no money. You got money to put in that offering plate. Listen, you better make yourself an offering plate. I love church. Yeah. When they get more money than your stock brokerage account, and you listen, come on, change your mindset. Money is a tool. Make your money work for you. Employ your dollars. I got to stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, make that money so when the pastor asks to sow a seed, you ain't gotta get mad. I'm gonna need to talk about money. You can give it freely in abundance.
Listen, all right, but listen, I'm gonna need these pastors to also talk about making money.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Listen, that's why I'm on tonight. Right? I'm representing. We gotta do it right. We gotta do it better. We gotta do it different. And we can impact change, and we can, really change people's lives and futures. And
let me say one more thing, and I promise. Yeah. Don't get mad when these black people who run business, they got a little or they talk sharp or they get your order messed up. Y'all done been to McDonald's a million times and they done gave you a cheeseburger with no cheese and no meat. They done messed your order up. So listen, I'll patronize these black folk that's trying to do business right. McDonald's done messed you up a million times and you still go back there. Come on.
Yo, shout out to my boy Cleve, man. Cleve, and I'm gonna tell you, Cleve randomly in 2019, we're in the chat. It's a sports chat. But Cleve randomly said, yo, did y'all see something about the stock market? Yo, when I say, not so much that it got quiet, but like it's sat in the middle of the conversation. Yo, like that night, I hit Cleve like, yo, what's up with the stock market? What you say? And like 3 months, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get in springtime. Yo, springtime didn't even come, bro. It was wintertime. It was like January. Matter of fact, it was January 2020, and we was talking. And I was like, yo, let's get in. And then a couple months later, I saw B and what he was doing, and I was like, yo, B, we got to connect. And bro, it's been an amazing ride, really, guys, to learn a new skill. It's the money is a tool, but it's really about learning a new skill. It's really about adding the information and learning that, should my job act funny? Should the government act the way they acting, right? They're doing them, right? I have a skill. I have learned how to create a strategy. I have educated myself on how to go out and make something. And it's legal, right? And the better I get at it, the more I can make. It is not a curse to make money. I speak against every negative thought. I speak against fear and anxiety when it comes to money because of the environment that you've been raised in, because the seeds that were sown in your life. I come against those seeds today because scripture says that he has given us the power to obtain wealth, guys. We are talking about obtaining wealth, not just getting rich and having money so you can drive good car. No, we're talking about changing the trajectory and the legacy of your life and your family's life. So we speak against the negative, impoverished mentality. I don't care where you live, in the suburbs or the inner city. We are here to help change our future, our family's future, guys. That's what it's about. So our family name can be well, and we can live long, and we can live together. And we have different conversations, right? Like, let's legit buy the block, not talk about it, not rap about it, not just dream about it. Let's position ourselves to actually do it.
Wow.
Right? And man, let's go, guys. Listen, I end everything praying out. Beret, you had something to say?
No. I'm catching the Holy Ghost over here, man.
Oh. Listen.
Wow.
I'm stirred up too. I'm stirred up too.
I am too, man. I'm gonna do some reading and some research before I go to bed because I'm so stirred up, right? Marv, I'm gonna be texting you and I'm gonna be texting y'all before I go to bed, like, yo, what we charting tonight, right? But guys, it again, man, this has just been revolutionary, and I'm just saying, I have a vehicle now to get there. It's not just the dream, but I have a vehicle to get there, right? And then this can help just some of the other things. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing when you just learn the principles and put everything in the right place. So guys, thank you so much tonight. I appreciate you. We're going to definitely promote what you guys are doing. Like I said, Bryant has his own trading group that he teaches. Go ahead, Darius. What you said?
I'm gonna try to join all these guys' groups. Look out for me.
Okay.
What you said, Brian? What you $20? What is it? $20 a month?
Listen, no, that's last year.
No,
buddy.
that was the beginning price.
That was the introduction.
That was before he knew how to make 100,000 in one day.
What's your price now?
Darius, he gonna talk to you offline.
No, I'm gonna join. Like, I'm supporting the brother. Like, we gonna get this money, so I'm all for it. Like, I don't mind kicking out a couple $1 a month, especially if it's good information and it's quality.
Absolutely.
That's the problem.
Jason, I'll say this.
Because I plan to make it back in the day. I'm not a rookie. I don't want it a month. I plan to make it back in the first 6 minutes. I'm with you.
Jason, I'll say this. Anybody that hits you up tonight will not pay $110 a month. I'll put that down to $60 a month. Anybody that hits you up that's watching this tonight, you'll get the discount of $60 a month as opposed to
wow.
I signed up with you. I see what you do, brother. I got faith.
Wow. Okay. Anybody that signed up tonight. So Kathy, I saw you. Marvin Gray, James Gray, I saw you. We're gonna get you guys the information. You guys have already inboxed me. We're gonna get you the information. But again, I appreciate you guys' wisdom. I appreciate the relationship. Veray, we're gonna continue to build. I know Mike was our connection. Shout out to Mike Williams, who throws me these alley-oops. I'm already in relationship with most of these guys, and we already talked, but we wanted to bring this conversation to the public. Mike Williams threw me the alley-oop, and we just went with it, man. So shout out to Mike. Mike is definitely,
Jason, real quick. I also want to link with you guys because I see that you guys are investors and everything, and I'm currently trying to open up my own warehouse distribution center coming out of Patterson as distribution hub. Distributing major major stuff, Amazon, Walmart, Chewy, all the contracts. With gentrification and everything going on and the population of Patterson growing as rapidly as it is, they're going to need their own hub for that little Tri-City area and so forth. I've been in the game a long time. I move a lot of packages a day. So that's where I'm going. I have to become the house. Like, a lot of the Caucasians own the house, and they ripping us contractors off, us drivers off. So I'm trying to become the house, and I have a business plan and everything, so it ain't no BS. Business plan put together by a business consultant and everything. I'm gonna have to make y'all sign a non-disclosure because I don't need y'all stealing my shit. Mike Williams taught me that. Shout out to Mike Williams.
All right.
But
Yeah.
nah, I definitely try to get you guys the business plan. You guys check it out and let me know what you think. But it's for color diversified jobs. I'll be needing pickers, packers, sorters, and I'll be using welfare and subsidized agencies to house the warehouse, to employ the warehouse and everything, as well as pay taxes to Patterson. I'm in the works of trying to work with the mayor to get the lease out of a nice sized warehouse in Patterson for the low, because he got the ability to do that. And work with the community development department as well. It's like a $40,000 grant on the line right now because they got
I
millions.
feel like I'm on Shark Tank right now.
Took it left real quick, but I will be in touch with you fellas. Definitely.
Thank you, Darius. Thank you, guys. Man, listen. I end every show. We pray out. But again, thank you, everybody. I will get you those who asked about Brian's information. I will get you Brian's information. But all of these guys are on Facebook, and you can contact them as well. But for those who specifically inbox me and message me for Brian's information, I will send you the email address to the investment group. All right, for tonight. Let them know that you were on tonight, you were watching, and you want to be a part. So, Father, we thank you for everything that has been said and done. Say that again, B.
And tell your friends too. Anybody that wants to come on tonight, you got 24 hours, $60.
Nice.
24 hours. Here we go.
What's your information? You gotta say your website. Promote yourself, brother.
Jason.
I don't see.
I'm gonna put it up, D. I'm gonna put it up.
Friday 13th. Okay. Jason.
Yeah. Nah,
that was funny.
I'm gonna put it up right now. I'm gonna put it up on the banner right now for everybody. I'm gonna create this banner for you.
Oh man.
For you guys to. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. I got you, bro.
Nice.
So, God, we thank you tonight for everything that has been said and done. We thank you for this conversation. We thank you for the relationships. Father, I pray that you will continue to download new insight, new information to help us to continue to grow in this area of obtaining wealth, God, that we may change our future, change the future for our family and our community. Father, we pray for the resources to come. We pray for the relationships to come that will be beneficial for us, God, and we will give you all the glory and all the honor. Father, I even pray, God, that you will continue to bless these brothers as they invest. Let them see trades, let them see companies with the greatest potential, even before everyone else sees them. Let their insight and wisdom be so sharp, God, that they can see the gains in the future, God, and be able to invest, oh God, and grow. And again, we will give you all the glory and honor, and we will build your kingdom for you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Guys, again, thank you so much, everybody. The email is up. You can email them directly. And some people in my inbox and my text message, I will send them to you, babe. Thanks for joining in and sticking around with us tonight. Kathy from North Carolina, man, we got people from all over. South Carolina up in the building, Midwest. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Awesome.